Hey guys, okay, I got a video to make and it's about Christ. Jesus Christ gave me a dream because I have no respect for Chris, but I do. But Christ is teaching me respect in what he calls is a dream series. Now, this dream series consists of finding common ground with your enemy. That's considered respect for another human being. To put it into place, I'm fighting my neighbor, Chris, shooting him in the head. Jesus Christ says I have no respect for him, or very little, as another human being, because he's scum, and I'm not. Anyway, fuck. Where am I going with this? Okay. So he's giving me these dreams called a dream series. And one of the dreams he told me was called Common Ground. And I was going to bed yesterday, and he told me, "I'm giving you a dream called Common Ground. It's about respect for your enemy." I'm like, okay. So I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was going to be some heavy duty, brutal dream, right? Turns out it wasn't. But now that I said that, I want to show you. I want to take you through how Christ gives you a dream upon your problem or a problem that's orientated within your own life. So you have a problem with your neighbor, Chris, right? Just hypothetically, whoever you have a problem with, you hate that fucking guy. You would kill him if you could. If you had a chance to cut his fucking throat, you would do it. If it wasn't for the law sending you to jail for 20 years. Okay. That's the level of that's the level I'm talking. My neighbor Chris. In relation to you and your problem. Now, take that problem. But in the dream Christ gives you, the dream Christ gives you is in relation to that problem. But in my mind, I found the problem in something I viewed on something that's happening in real life, but with a different culture, people from another culture. Okay. And it's hard to say. It's hard to say. And I viewed it on YouTube. Not them going at it head to head, killing each other, but the hate behind politics. Okay. So I'm going to share a video with you. I'm going to share a view with you of the two guys that fucking hate each other. One's a politician and one's a comedian, and they hate each other. Well, at least one guy hates the other guy, but I'm sure the politician hates the comedian just as much. And it's all over politics. Like and the level of hate would they would kill each other. I want to show you them before I get into the dream because they are a part of the dream. All my problem with Chris and respect and following Christ's common ground, which he gave me in the dream. But the players of the dream are two guys I saw off YouTube, not me and not Chris, but two people separate I saw on YouTube that hate each other from a different culture. Here it goes. All right. I hope I explained that to you, man. Okay. I hope I get this right. Let's share the screen. Okay. This guy is called Jagmeet Singh, and he's got the pink pull start. Okay. So I don't know what you call this thing, but I heard a joke a long time ago. They call them pull starts, like a lawnmower engine, I guess. Pink pull start. He's a politician who is Trudeau's left nut. They're both fucking over Canada to the point people are dying. People are dying and they're fucking over Canada, and all he wants is his money. Now, there's the comedian I'm going to show you right here. This guy's a comedian, and his name is Laughter Smith on YouTube. You can watch him. He makes a comedic about the pink poster, but they're both the same culture. Okay, more or less. They're both the same culture. I'm not going to show you the video. I'm just showing you visual so you can understand what's going on in my dream. So this guy's a comedian. He hates the pink poster guy, Jagmeet Singh, and they're from the same culture. Now I watched this guy's video, and he makes me laugh because he's making fun of the politicians, and he's a corrupt fucking prick that kills people. Not literally kills people, but he implements policies that are killing Canadians. He's Trudeau's left nut, and they don't give a fuck about us. With that said, stop share. Now you understand the context of the dream. Okay, here's the dream. Those two guys hate each other. In reality, I assume, because that's what I'm getting from the videos and whatnot. So I go to bed, I fall asleep. I'm having a Christ session dream on common ground, how to respect your enemy. All of a sudden, I fall asleep. Boom, I'm at a construction site. And this guy is walking around and he's fucking pissed off. He's got a sword. He wants to pull his sword out and fucking cut Jagmeet Singh's head off. The comedian guy. That's how mad he is at Jagmeet Singh. This is Christ's dream. Jagmeet Singh is a pussy, and he just fucks over Canadians and collects some money. He don't give a shit about you or anybody. That's the way it is. Trudeau's left nut. Anyway, I'm at a construction site. This guy's got a sword and he's fucking walking around. He wants to kill this guy. and he's pissed off for some reason I don't understand yet. So I watch him. Jagmeet Singh comes into the picture. Behind, they're standing in mud like a construction site, and behind, they're building a temple, some kind of religious temple. But they both have to build the temple together. Okay. So the guy puts his sword away and he has to talk. He has to talk to his fucking enemy. So he walks over and he walks over to Jagmeet Pink Poster and says, okay, let's do this. Let's get it done. We fucking hate each other. Let's fucking do this and get it done. This construction site. Behind them is a partially built temple for whatever their religion is. And they're building it. So they bring out their plans and they start talking. Okay, we need so much lumber, we need pipes, we need to put this there and this thing and the other thing and build all do the lumber and call contractors and do this and build that. And they're talking. The other guy goes, I agree, we should do this, and they're agreeing on what they can do with the budget they got or whatever. But they're making common ground over building this temple. But they both fucking hate each other's guts, literally to the point of killing. And in that process, in the dream, they're talking about something other than politics. They're talking about building a temple for their people. Even though one guy's killing the people, the other guy wants to kill him, but they have to find something on common ground to talk about. Okay? Then they both turn around. They're both looking at the map of fucking what is it? The blueprints of what they have to build and work out the blueprints and get the construction orders and stuff like that. They get it done. They're pissed off. They walk away. They get the whole thing done. They have to come back, collaborate on common ground to get the thing done. So they come back, they meet, they're talking, and they're going. He says something like, I hear you have a daughter. He goes, yeah, so do I. And he goes, how about them? They start talking. They start talking about their daughters, which brings up family. The temple they're building brings up family. They start talking about their sons and what their sons want and how their sons screw up and life in general. Other things about other things other than politics. Okay. Next day goes by. They start expanding. Well, I got this car. And I need a car. They're talking in front of the construction site of building this temple. Well, I need a car. He goes, well, great. I'll sell it to your son. I'll sell it to your son for so much money. Human. For fucking, I want to fucking kill you. But here I am talking to you about my daughter and my son and hockey. You know what I mean? They got common ground. Yeah. Then they get done the temple and they shake hands and the hate comes up. I hate your fucking politics. How many people? Why do you hate me so much for my politics? Because you're killing Canadians, you're letting them starve to death. And then that conversation begins. But they have common ground. They built our relationship on their family and on their normal life stuff. Now they can put the hate aside and start talking. They got some common ground. And that is how you get past the hate. Find something common ground to build upon the temple of their own culture and religion. You get it? That is my dream. That is what I dreamt. And I woke up from it and I went, holy shit. They're building a temple. They're building a relationship from their culture, but they fucking hate each other. They're building a temple. And the temple is also their relationship, their culture, and they're building it together. So they're building something with your enemy. Christ told me, showed me this culture. Now, what interests me is I've done that in real life. At high school, I hated this kid, but I had to work with him. So I asked him a question because I knew it was auto class. And I knew how to do this project I was working on, something to do with engines. And I had to work on an engine with this guy. Fuck. Pissed me off. I wanted nothing to do to break his fucking neck. So I walked over to him. I said, hey, man. He goes, hey, what are you doing? I go, I don't know much about engines. So where do you put these fucking things? He goes, I need your help. I can't build this. Well, he goes, it's a spark plug. I knew exactly what to do, but I just did this so I could give him his ego fix. Give him his ego fix. Then when you give him your ego fix, give him his ego fix, he's like, oh, whoa, I can show you this fucking asshole. And he comes on and he shows you how to put the fucking spark plugs in. I'm like, thanks, man. Appreciate your help. Respect. We started something there. I made it through a year of that jackass sitting beside me, but it broke the ice. It broke the hate. We started building something, a car engine. And it all started with me backing away and stroking his ego. I didn't hit him with more ego. And that's the exact same thing Pink Bullstar did with the other comedian, building a temple, building a relationship. And it starts with respect. But hey, you don't put the fucking spark plug in like that, you fucking asshole. No, I said. And I knew what I was doing. I knew it. The whole fucking layout, I knew it. How do you put the fucking spark plug? Where the fuck does this thing go? Stroke his ego. Because everybody knows where a fucking spark plug goes in the car engine. Well, you put it right here. I'm like, thanks, man. I didn't know that. I built up his ego and fucking relationship started. Didn't go very long, but we went through a whole year without killing each other, not punching each other like I did fucking all the time in school with other people. But I broke that fight, that future fight, that future stress, the future hate over nothing. I don't even know why the fucking guy hated me. But anyway, you see, building on common ground. So I knew all crazy stuff back in the fucking 80s because I'm fighting Chris now, arguing with his spirit, shooting his spirit in the head with fucking my gun. Christ says, I have no respect. I said I'll respect him when I'm done, when he turns off the fucking air conditioner or dies. You gotta have respect. Well, how do I give respect? I gotta talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. I want him to die, but I guess I gotta talk to him. So anyway, that's the dream Christ gave me. The two guys were building a temple in a construction site. They put their fucking hate aside for each other to get this project done. They both had common ground to get it done, building a temple. But in that process, conversation takes place about the son, the daughter, the cars, life in general. And they find out they ain't too fucking different from each other. And asshole Pink Bullstar, he reviewed his fucking life and said, I'm going to hell. I better do good. More or less in the dream, or the inevitable outcome. The inevitable outcomes stops the abuse, stops the violence. Then you can build the temple, a relationship. How far, how long that goes, but you made common ground. You had something common ground because the dream was called common ground. You had common ground. They're building a temple. They found common ground, stopped abusing each other, and gonna kill each other to build this temple. And the conversation started, thoughts, ideas, human exchange of family, relationship problems. Then went on to politics. And the politics were, I hate your fucking politics for these reasons. And that's what Christ taught me in the dream to do with Chris, next door neighbor. But I want to know how Christ takes that problem of common ground, takes the problem, gives you the dream. But how does Christ know about my viewing Pink Bull starting the comedian and the fight they're having? Do you know what I mean? How does Christ doesn't. He gives you the problem. He gives you, you bring in Christ's manger. You bring in Christ's manger. You bring Christ in your heart and you're in the manger. Okay. So what does Christ do? He has a program called Common Ground. He takes that program, whatever aspect it is, and applies it to what your problem is. In the dream, you dream a solution to your problem through Christ's program of common ground. But in the dream, it's your own makeup that is portrayed to give you a visual representation plus a visual example of how to deal with the problem. That's what happened to me. That's what I want to know. Because Christ doesn't know I have a problem. Christ knows I have a problem, but he doesn't know Pink Bill starting the comedian. He doesn't know shit from them people. I never told him anything. It was just something I watched on TV amongst a million other fucking examples. But the dream came from me. The dream came from me as an example of how to deal with this problem from a Christ program in the manger. You see? You see how that's what really interests me. How does Christ give you a dream which he knows nothing about details from Pink Pilster to the comedian? He don't know nothing about the Pink Pilster and the comedian. He actually views a dream and uses it again as an example for others if he wants to. This is a dream series, so there's more examples coming tonight, tomorrow night. I usually get three Christ dreams of learning respect. That was dream one I had. So there you go, guys. I just want to make this quick video and about Christ's common ground sequence dreams. Christ's common ground sequence dream. And it all comes from natural law. Christ's consciousness is natural law made for humans in their current state of awareness. And I told Christ, well, fuck, I've done that with a guy from goddamn high school. He goes, well, I didn't know that. I go, yeah, I know, but I am a Christ. Well, unofficially, when I did that in real life. So why are you giving me this? Because I already know it. And his conversation was stumped. All went quiet. And I'm like, do you think I'm fucking stupid? Anyway, he goes, well, you ain't showing respect for Chris, so I gave you the Seeker's dreams. Common ground Seeker's dreams. I'm like, okay, I got it. I get it. I get it. Anyway, that's where it goes. That's how it's done. That's how Christ does it. Jesus Christ. To get you off the mountain. And it's all natural law. You got a problem, there is a solution. You got a problem with a person you gotta fucking kill, there is a solution to it. Use your fucking head, use your heart. In my case, it was I was ready to fucking beat the shit out of this guy in high school when the fucking teacher said, you're gonna build an engine. I'm like, oh. And he paired me off with the fucking my enemy. So the first thing I did in that scenario was, hey, asshole, what's this thing? I don't know what the fuck it is. It's a spark plug, Rich. Hey, man, can you put it in? Because I don't fucking know what to do. Where it goes, whatever. I knew exactly, but I had to play stupid. I had to initiate the common ground by building his ego up and teaching me that was for him because I knew what he was about. Ego. I knew in my heart, fucking stroke that guy's ego. They got ego, stroke it, and you can condition you by the topic of their ego. You can stroke it, orientating that part of the ego in a person just by they think, well, fuck, this guy's stupid. Well, yeah, sure, I'm stupid, whatever. If it gets me out of this fucking problem of beating the shit out of you and get my own fucking teeth knocked out, well, I'll take it. Then we can start working on conversation. And we did for fucking weeks. We had to build this fucking engine. I didn't know shit about engines, but I knew where the fucking spark plug went. And he did know more about engines than I did because I don't really give a fuck about car engines. I like the car, but I don't know how to build one. But I know where a spark plug goes. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so you can actually control, by playing stupid, by playing humble, by playing ignorant, you can gear the whole relationship out of hate and abuse of each other verbally and build common ground conversation. And it didn't go too far in my reality here on earth, but it was the same as Pink Polestar and the comedian building a temple. And I didn't think of that until Chris asked me. I till I woke up from the dream. I'm like, I got the dream. I know what it meant. And I go, I already do that. And I thought, fuck, I did that in high school and in the 80s or 90s. But anyway, I told Chris, we built an engine, and I built an engine with a guy I hated. And we never did fight because that's where it was going. I was going to knock his fucking teeth out. Oh, he's an arrogant fucking cocksucker. But it didn't happen. I saw him once after that, fucking 20 years later, in the beer store. He was a drug addict, fat and overweight, and he was about to die. And we just looked at each other. He knew, and I knew. And I didn't say a damn word to him. All right, guys. A little bit about my life and dream one of Christ's dream sequence on common ground. Later, guys.